Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of the Source NBA Finals. Game 3, we had a great Game 2. Heat money line, Heat plus 8.5. Max Strus over 2.5 threes hit for a big plus money cash. Had the over, which cashed. I only had one loss. It was Jokic under PRAs. Dude decided to score like 30 points in the second half. Either way, great Game 2. Let's keep that momentum rolling.
Welcome to the Source. The Source. Hey, get the Source.
All right, so Game 3, obviously, we're looking at Denver on the road in Miami here. Series is knotted up 1-1. Line opens up Miami plus 1.5, and the total opens up at 214.5. Public's all over Denver here. Like I said, it opened up at 1.5, but it moved up to 2.5 pretty quickly. I got a bet in on Denver at -2. I saw it hit 3 on a few sports books for a little while, but it seems to be 2.5 across the board as I'm recording this. So yeah, I'm on Denver in this one. If you follow me on Twitter, you already knew that. I shared my bet slip. I got in at Denver -2. Sure, Miami played great in Game 2. They handled the elevation well. They deserve all the credit in the world. I was on Miami in Game 2. I loved it. But there were just way too many things that went well for Miami, that went Miami's way, that I just don't think we can count on happening again in Game 3. First and most obvious is the outside shooting. And I'm sure you've heard it 300 times already. That's what everyone does. When the game's over, they rush to look at the outside shooting, and they use those numbers to decipher whether or not they felt the team deserved the win. Miami shot 48.6% from outside in that game. Do you really think that's going to happen again? Of course not. Now, don't get me wrong. The Heat have been shooting the ball well from outside. In fact, they're second in three-point efficiency in the entire playoffs. Second to Denver, actually. But they've been chilling at around 38, 39%. Over 48%, that's just not something you can rely on night in and night out. Now, the Denver perimeter defense is just okay. So if you want to make a case that you think the Heat will be able to consistently exploit the Nuggets defensively on the perimeter, I'm all for it. I'm with it. In fact, I said something along those lines in the Game 1 video. I agree with you. But if you're counting on the Heat to outshoot the Nuggets by 10% from 3 on a night in and night out basis, you're just going to be disappointed. The three-point battle is whatever, in my opinion. I think the regression is more on the side of the Nuggets because I don't think the Heat going to shoot 48%. But either way, that's not what I think the most important talking point is heading into Game 3. To me, it was those Denver Nuggets fouls down the stretch. What the hell were they doing? Mike Malone had to be having an aneurysm on the sideline. I had the Heat, obviously, so I was happy about it. But I was really confused. First, they foul Kyle Lowry shooting a 28-footer for no reason at all. Then Bam Adebayo has a wide-open dunk. Michael Porter Jr., for no reason, just decides to slap his wrist, give him an and-1. Then they fouled Jimmy Butler on that weird-looking floater. It was 3 consecutive possessions where the Heat gave the Nuggets 8 points, 6 of them from the foul line. And these 3 possessions came about midway through the fourth quarter when we were looking at a close game. I mean, that's what made it an 8-9 point game in the Heat favor. If those fouls don't happen, I truly think Denver is up 2-0 in this series right now. And I just don't see that happening again. If we're talking about the Celtics, maybe. If we're talking about the Sixers, maybe. But this Denver Nuggets team is well-disciplined. They're well-coached. They're a mentally tough team. They've showed us that. That's why I'm confident in saying that the mental mistakes down the stretch, I just can't see that happening again from Denver. Now, let's talk about some individual performances. Now, in my opinion, when it comes to talking playoff basketball, this is the most overhyped, over-discussed aspect of these games. People be like, oh, wow, Jimmy Butler went 6 of 21 in Game 2. That means he's going to go off in Game 3. Let's bet the Heat. You know exactly what I'm talking about. I get why people do that logically, but overall, basketball's a team sport. And you're going to have a lot more success, in my opinion, trying to target regression from the team numbers rather than individual players. That being said, there are some numbers we definitely need to mention here. Bam Adebayo, 2 great games to start this series. We all know Bam's good to lay an egg, and I think Game 3 sounds perfect. I expect to see some negative regression from him. The role players from the Heat in Game 2, Gabe Vincent, Duncan Robinson, Kyle Lowry. Those 3 guys combined to shoot 14 of 21 from the floor and 8 of 12 from 3. Obviously, you cannot rely on those three guys to shoot 67% from the floor and 67% from three again. No way. And then over on the other side, if we take a look at Denver's box score, now remember, Denver could have won game 2. In fact, a lot of people would probably argue they should have won game 2. I wouldn't say that, but they definitely could have won it. Michael Porter Jr. and Jamal Murray combined to shoot 9 of 23 from the floor and 4 of 14 from 3. Obviously, you gotta like both of those guys to bounce back with stronger games in game 3. And then you add on the fact that Miami's also won the turnover battle in games 1 and 2. Those numbers are bound to even out. There's just way too many things pointing Denver's way here. I know we're leaving the elevation and it's the Nuggets on the road and they're much better at home. But they just handled their business in the 2 games in LA. I'm on the Nuggets here. I'll take them at, I got my ticket in at 2. I would still take them at 2.5. As far as the total goes, I'm leaning under here. So I'm leaning, let's see what it is at now. It opened at 214. It's at 214.5 now, so it hasn't even moved. I'm leaning under. That being said, I think I might end up just settling on the Miami Heat team total under 106.5. Little scared of Denver's offense going off and f***ing the under up for me. So Miami team total under 106.5. As far as props go, I really haven't decided yet. I'm thinking I'm definitely going to take Jamal Murray's over, though. So that's one that I think will be on there. I'm sure I'll have probably 3 on the final ticket, as well as the same game parlay. If you're interested in that, head over to KyleKirms.com. I will post those up at 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. If anything changes with any of these bets I just named in this video, I will definitely let you know on Twitter. So give me a follow there if you're interested. Game 3, NBA Finals. We just saw an awesome Game 2. Hopefully see another great one. Remember to bet responsibly and hit me up on Twitter if you need me.